Time now for an in-depth look at the market news this afternoon, and for that I'm joined on the line by Dr. Soo-young, professor of economics at Chung-Ang University. Professor Song, thank you for making time today.
Yeah, thank you, Devin.
So stocks on Wall Street plunging again on Tuesday as the coronavirus outbreak spreads. Korean stocks down significantly as well. What's the story in the stock markets today?
Yeah, currently the stock market has suffered from the outbreak, the spread, the more expanding spread of the coronavirus around the world, including some European countries, and also particularly in the United States, the Center of Disease Control has warned that coronavirus could start in the spread, could make a significant spread in the U.S. So that is why the stock market and also some bond markets has reflected those effect on that price. So particularly in Asia, but of interest is in the morning, the Shanghai actually index has been, now it is coming back to declining, but in the morning that the Shanghai index has been increased a little bit. So that might reflect in China, the situation has been improved, particularly the number of the confirmed cases has been declining in China. Whereas in Korea, right now we are in the process of the increasing cases of coronavirus, but however, it will be stopped and it will be halted soon. But however, in the United States and other countries, we have to wait and see. That's why the market situation has reflected those complex and some tumultuous situation right now.
Well, we certainly do hope that it stops soon, but there's been volatility also in the exchange rate in the past couple of weeks. The won shot up to around 12.20 to the U.S. dollar, went down a bit yesterday, and now it's right back up there. So this is clearly the result of the coronavirus, but what's going on with the Korean won, and what's your outlook? Yeah,
clearly it can be explained well by the flight to quality, because when the economy has, although it has suffered, then the U.S. dollar is one of the most favorite place to find a shelter as some safe, and that's why the U.S. dollar's price is getting increased, and the value is much higher. But when I see the gold price, there is some mix in the market. Still, the uncertainty is too large. That's why there is some mixed up situation is still continues. However, when I see the futures, particularly the expectation among the investors in the future, particularly for the commodities, the oil price, oil futures value is declining, which means that the oil is not anymore popular in the future. And there is the S&P 500 futures. Also, there is some kind of gain, which means that S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial Average could be better in the future. Whereas gold is already in the futures of the gold, so it's declining. So that situation is mixed up. So right now we do not make some hasty estimation of the future, but we have to see what the development of the situation.
Yeah, mixed signals, as you say. Oil prices seeming to indicate the impact on the global economy and how it's hit demand for oil in countries like China. But tomorrow, in view of all this, the Bank of Korea is going to decide on interest rates, and it seems that there's some pressure on it to cut rates. What do you think the chances are of a rate cut?
Yeah, right now, when I see the My News that was announced and published in the last November and early January, the situation is there are two of the members of the monetary policy board has preferred some kind of lowering of the base interest rate for Korea. Right now, after that, in February, the situation is getting worse because of the outbreak of the coronavirus spread around our country. Therefore, the situation indicates that we most likely to decrease the interest rate to relieve the burden of some interest cost, particularly the loan. But however, this we have to worry about, or sterilization policy is necessary for the lower the loan interest that could spur the real estate market. Therefore, the government should use very micro prudential policy and pinpoint then whether the borrowers are eligible or not. So, and also how those monies and the loans are used. So they have to. The government must remain very alert about whether particularly the household market. Because of the balloon effect is still prevalent in the Korean real estate market, but as a result, we have to watch over all the countries, not just some specific areas such as Seoul or some vicinities of Seoul and the Gyeonggi province. Then we have to see what is the development of the house real estate market in the near future. But currently, I anticipate the Bank of Korea to decline the base rate by 25 basis points. That is really plausible and good for the economy.
All right, we'll be watching that situation very closely. An interesting point about the housing market and the policy there. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Thank you, Professor Song. We appreciate it.
Thank you.